She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin'. Yeah, she a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin'. She truckin'.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the She Trucking Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, and today's episode is a part of a remarkable educational series that is sponsored by the She Trucking Foundation. These episodes are designed as a resource to elevate, to motivate, and to position you in the transportation industry as well as in business. Now, on this episode, we are going to be discussing something that is not only relevant in the trucking and transportation industry, but it's also relevant in every form of business. What are we discussing in this episode? Well, we are discussing branding and marketing tips. So I want you to go get a pen and paper because you definitely want to take some notes on this, especially if you're a business owner, because we are about to pour into you. But I also want you to check us out on our website at shetrucking.com. And I want you to take it a step further and make sure that you join our free Facebook community by simply searching She Trucking. Now get ready. It's time for branding and marketing tips.
My name is Cher'Don Reynolds. As he said, I am the self-proclaimed CEO of She Printed LLC. We are a fiercely female promotional products company that focuses on helping women-owned, led, and operated businesses stay top of mind with phenomenal branding. Now, that's my normal elevator pitch, but we're going to have a real conversation today because a lot of times in business, the last thing that we focus on is branding, marketing, and promotional products. We don't see the value in it, or we think we should start a t-shirt line for everything. How many people done started a t-shirt line up in here? Don't be ashamed, put your hand up. I know y'all out here trying to start t-shirt lines. I ain't judging. I just want to help you do it the right way and understand how to implement promotional products in your business. So one of the most common mistakes that people make, or missed opportunities, I should say, when it comes down to promotional products and branding is that they're trying to create multiple businesses with the promotional products and t-shirts. So what does that mean? During the pandemic especially, a lot of us had some tough times financially, and so everybody wanted to open up a Shopify store and do a print-on-demand, printful, fulfillment, trying to get some extra money in their pocket. But if you have a service that you provide, say for example, you coach truck drivers, right? Or you teach logistics, you charge $500 for that class. It's not beneficial to you to then turn around and sell a $25 t-shirt. That's your impulse buy item, right? The focus is selling that $500 course or coaching program. So what if you, instead of trying to sell that $25 t-shirt, sold your coaching program for $550 and it came with a free t-shirt, a free download, a free checklist? Now you really made $50 on that t-shirt. Instead of $25, you added value to what you offer because your program had free gifts associated with it. And people are more likely to do business with people that they receive free products from. The truth of the matter, statistically proven, people do business with companies that they've gotten promotional products from by 83%. You increase the likelihood of business by by 83% if you give away promotional products. So if you spent $2 on mugs and you came here today, everybody, I think a great example is that company right at the front, Prime Line. They're giving away free bags. They got tote bags. They got goodies inside those tote bags. I bet you all went and got y'all a bag. I see the bag sitting on top of these tables. Y'all will never forget that company. I assure you that what they're gifting you versus what they're trying to lure you to buy is probably 300% more in value. But you're going to remember them because they gave you those pretty pink and white bags, and they had that pretty pink truck over there, and it had some little goodies inside, and you guys were excited because they gave you something for free, and you didn't feel like you had to pay for it. But you will pay for it when you do business with them. If they come across 1,000 people and 10% of those people buy something, do you think they made their money back on those promotional products? Y'all a quiet crowd. You know, I'm a turn-up queen, but it's okay. Y'all conservative. That's okay. Needless to say, the goal here is to focus on the investment of your business. As you guys came in, you see She Trucking everywhere. She's selling the products. It's featured on other people's banners. She has tents, tablecloths, T-shirts, hats. All of that is going to keep her brand top of mind. You need to figure out how do you duplicate that behavior, but still maintain the core focus of your brand. You have to understand who your target audience is, what is it that your target audience desires from you, and how do you get your target audience to buy into your brand concept and also appreciate the products that you have to go with it. So because I want to get some engagement going, I will ask if anybody has any questions about promotional products, branding. If you have a scenario, I'm happy to role play with you on a situation as it relates to your brand, how you can introduce promotional products to your company. Nobody had no questions? Y'all just too chill for me. Okay. Well, I'll continue on. Let me look on this side because I miss y'all over here. No questions? All right. Well, I'll keep on my spiel. As it relates to nonprofits, because I know there's a lot of companies here that have nonprofits or people who are working in the nonprofit space as well. That's another area where people struggle with branding, presentation, and marketing. And in that space, it's not just the products, it's the verbiage. A lot of times we don't know how to talk about what we're selling, and we don't know how to encourage people to purchase at the value that we defined it as. So in the nonprofit sector, it's important that you understand that your words matter. People will spend $100 on a T-shirt if they're getting a free T-shirt for a $100 donation. But when you sell them the T-shirt for $25, they're less likely to buy it because people want to feel like they did something right and they want to get a gift for it, right? So they still want something for their money. But you have to know how to have that conversation with them. It's no different than with the courses. You're giving them something for free. As a promotional product, you're doing it as a donation, and every donation level allows for you to increase the value. And as we're talking about value, another area of opportunity in promotional products and branding when it comes to selling is that people don't understand profit margins, markups, their target audience, and value. If anybody is still in here trying to sell a T-shirt for $10 or $15, you really need to reevaluate what you're doing. Supplies cost more than that, labor costs more than that, but most importantly, the value add that you have for your product is worth more than that. So if your presentation is great, when you guys walked in, again, Sheree's presentation is amazing. So when you see it, you see that she's invested money, time, and energy. And so when she tells you that a hat is $30, you don't really flinch about it because you can see where that came from. You see the presentation, the investment. She's invested in her. In turn, you're willing to invest in her. If you guys don't have a presentation that looks like something that people want to be a part of, they're not going to invest in it. But you also have to understand that at minimum, you should be doing a 40 to 60% markup on your costs. And that doesn't mean the cost of the one shirt that you got printed at the mall, okay? It's about bulk pricing. You have to understand that you have to start with a certain number of units before you can start to mark up. And the more that you spend, the great thing is that if you buy 24 shirts and you're spending $8 a shirt and then you decide to mark it up to $25, now you can buy 1,000 shirts and you're only paying $5 per shirt, but you're still selling it for $25. Just because you saving money don't mean you're supposed to drop the cost of your product. And my last bit of advice to you in pricing, you need to price so that you can offer a discount. Do not price your products at the lowest possible price because you're afraid that people won't buy it. The people that don't buy your stuff don't want your stuff, and that's okay. Thank you. Okay, I woke y'all up. I should have said that in the beginning. I sure wish somebody would have gave me that tip. You have a question? Yeah, so profit margins, like I was saying earlier, at least starts at 40% at the bare minimum. And it depends on who you're selling it to. But when you go deeper into products and placement, if you decide, and to my point when I was talking about making sure that you price it accordingly so that you can discount it, say at some point you decide that you want to sell your products to a major retail store, right? It looks really pretty, but that's a really expensive game to be in. These major retail stores, they want 40 to 70% off the rip of your costs. So that's why it's important that your prices are high enough that you can reduce it down. It's a lot like when we go into the mall and they got the 70% off of MSRP rack, and it's always 70% off of that MSRP, and you get excited, but they never plan to sell it to you at that $115 mark. But that is the suggested market value for that item, so they can list it as that. But they never have any intentions to sell it at that point. But everybody wants a discount, so you want to mark it up. Don't be ashamed to take it up, because another piece of pricing your product, you have to include all of your overhead and expenses. So if you're only charging for the cost of goods solely based on what you pay for the products, you're pricing it wrong. You have to price your products to include the cost of your employees, the cost of the building that you're operating out of, the cost of lights, utilities, whatever overhead that your business has. You have to incorporate all of those things, and then you take that and determine what the profit margin is. You have to consider, what are you spending on ads and other marketing material, right? Because if you paid $5 for the shirt and now you selling it for $10, but you want to run Facebook ads and you want to run Instagram ads and you want to hire a marketing person, that extra $5 ain't going to make it. So, and that the goal is at the end of the year that you should have seen at least a 20% stay in your pocket profit, right? Which means after you've covered all of your expenses, that the business should be able to retain about 30% is really good. But that's including everything. So don't just focus on the cost of the good. And if you don't have overhead right now, you still have to prepare for the future. So eventually you will have overheads. You need to forecast accordingly. I don't have a team now, but when I do hire a team, I want to be able to pay them $10 an hour. They can work this many hours a week, part-time or whatever. Factor that into your costs, because if you're charging just based on what you do as a solopreneur, and then when it's time to hire a team, you cannot afford them, and then you change your price from $15 to $35 because you're trying to pay for the team, you're going to lose your audience. Any other questions? Okay, well, that's my time. I hope
If you are a business owner or entrepreneur and you're looking for a way to share your mission, your purpose, your products and services literally with the world faster, safer, and easier, making your brand accessible to millions from the comfort of your home, well, I want to encourage you to join our Learn How to Start a Podcast and Monetize It class. Why? Is because this was designed for entrepreneurs like yourself as a platform to provide you with the knowledge in order to not only start a podcast, but successfully launch it. And then the third key, which is helping you to understand how you can monetize your podcast. As you are impacting the world with good, you can also build multiple streams of income from this one podcast and share your story, mission, and purpose literally with the world. So on today, I want you to go ahead and click CoachTinaRamsey.com to join our podcast class today.
DJ Tony Dubb. She gon' take care of her bitch, she truckin', she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin', she truckin'. She gon' take care of her kids, she truckin', yeah. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin', she truckin', she truckin', she truckin', she truckin', she truckin'. She a boss, she do it big, she truckin', she truckin'. She a woman with a rig, she truckin', she truckin'.